Today, we're going to be talking about one thing that will kill your deal almost every single time. And I've made this mistake many times before. I got some live footage of a deal that I actually just switched over, and they told me exactly why they did not go with the first company they met with. So, we're going to be diving into some live footage, and hopefully, you can take some lessons from it. Welcome to the podcast. My name is Taylor Armstrong. We are here to help you close more deals, generate more leads and referrals, and hopefully have a much better time in the solar industry. Hope you're doing awesome and closing lots of deals whenever you're listening to this. Currently, we are in the summer grind, and I hope all of you are taking advantage of these long summer days. Have your guys just grinding, closing lots of deals, because this is when it's money-making season for solar. So make sure you push hard these last months if you are selling in the summer, and leave everything on the table, because you don't want to get to the winter and wish you would have pushed harder in the summer. Take it from me. Okay, so we're going to jump straight into the content. Nothing too much else to talk about besides the meat and potatoes today. And so just a little background on what happened on this account that I recently installed. So I went there. It was a person that had moved in fairly recent in the house, I think 4 or 5 months back. So I personally am a big fan of hitting newer move-ins. A lot of times they have not been, hit up as much about solar. So it's a strategy for us out here and can work well. And so what happened, I go to this deal, I start signing them, and they're resistant. They don't want to do it. And I finally get out why they don't want to do it. And it's because they signed up pretty quick with the last company. And yeah, I'm just going to play some live footage, probably best explain it from their perspective. So I'm going to pull up the footage here I got on this account, and let's hear what happened. Let's hear what this rep did wrong and some lessons we can take from it. Following through and going with what they were.
To be honest, I mean, the first time you approached me out in the garage, I was, doing this picture. Yeah, come by tomorrow and we'll talk about it. So we came in. Okay. He must have been in there for freaking 2 hours. 2 hours. And I was like, okay, well, then we went through the whole application process, and then he had to come back because the credit.
Yeah, it hadn't gone through. There was some.
So he had to come back, and he was here for another 2 hours. Oh, wow. And then he came by one day when I was in the garage. Hey, Jeremy, I just dropped by out of nowhere. And it's like, dude, I mean,
yeah.
Okay. So you just got exhausted.
Wow.
Yeah.
He got exhausted. He just said, and he was texting us and texting us.
I know, he kept texting us.
Message. It's like, dude, we're not. I go, listen. Yeah. I go, we're not interested right now. We'll let you know.
Yeah.
Just like that.
It's like stop. Yeah, cease and desist. Yeah, he did.
Just not.
But yeah, we don't like that. So.
That's not something that I will. Give us just what you got, and you guys think about it. That'll be it.
Yeah.
It doesn't even be a 4-hour process.
Yeah.
This guy brought his cookies. And
well, that's nice.
It was nice, but like, you don't need to stay for an hour just to get cookies.
It's a car salesman mentality.
Yeah.
It's just not that.
Yeah, yeah, it's tough.
You're not going to make it any more easier on yourself by staying for 2 hours trying to sell solar panels.
Yeah, that would be exhausting.
Okay, so you can pretty much hear what happened here, and wasn't going to say, but yes, the company was Sunrun. And I feel bad for this rep. I do. I swiped the deal from him, but obviously this rep, Sunrun rep, had gone there, probably thought he got a laydown account. They were excited about it, but several things apparently go wrong, and it was too much in the end to recover from. Okay, and I feel bad because I empathize with this rep. I've been there before, okay, especially when I was newer to closing. There were times where I had to come back, re-sign deals. I maybe re-signed it under someone that wasn't on the title. That's happened before. So there's so many things that happen, and even still to this day, where I've been doing it for years and years and years, there's still times where I do have to go back. So let's just talk about a few things that maybe you could have prevented, maybe you could have done different, some lessons that we all should learn from this. Okay, and so lesson number one, you hear them just complain that, hey, he had to come back. He was here for 2 hours. So just be conscious of time, right? And pay attention to body language. Yeah, if people are getting bored, if they're not present in it, you got to like keep them engaged, right? So I get the feeling that this rep, he was just dragging it out, going through every single step, which is good. But you got to know, hey, I'm losing the audience here. And this guy, the husband specifically, was definitely a much quicker presentation to the point. And my mistake was I didn't even know they had met with Sunrun until I was actually going to close them. And I almost did close them, but then she started opening up why she didn't sign, why she didn't want to do it right then. Which that was my mistake, because really I should have found this out at the very beginning of the appointment, right? And tailored my presentation to that, but I did not. So that's a mistake I made. But this rep, I get the feeling that he was not reading the room. He was just going on and on and on. Wanted to cover all the bases, all the steps, which is great. But hey, if you're losing your audience, you got to like do something, right? You got to pick it up. You got to, yeah, just read the room, be a human being. Okay. Because if you get them exhausted, then it's tough to recover from that. So I know it's a balance because you need to cover all the steps too, but maybe condense some things, ask questions, make sure they have understanding, then move on to the next one. Because you don't want to just frustrate them that you're taking forever and ever and ever. Because then they're probably just not going to do it. So I'm actually surprised that this Sunrun rep got as far as he did, because from how the husband was talking, I'm shocked that they even signed with his attitude about it. Okay. But then the lesson here is get your docs right the first time. So that's a big lesson to be learned. Yeah, you heard that the Sunrun rep, he had to go back. He was there another 2 hours figuring out a credit issue. So if you are new to closing, or however long you've been doing this, just do not leave the house without clearing all holds on accounts. Hey, because trust me, it just makes your life harder, makes it more complicated if you have to go back, if you have to pester them for things. Um, People, it's just going to delay everything, right? So I see this with rookie sales reps, with people that are newer to closing all the time, where they just leave threads undone, right? They leave things undone. Maybe they signed the agreement, but they're missing the utility agreement. Here we have the net metering agreement that needs to be signed most of the time. Maybe they're missing the full utility bill, which is another common thing that I see reps just don't get at the point of sale. So do not leave until you can get everything gathered, no stipulations, right? Okay, and then so that's lesson number one. Number two, don't pester your deals, right? It's like this guy, he did some good. I like that he brought him crumble cookies. That is nice. But you don't want to pester your deals. You don't want to feel like you're coming at them over and over and over. And that's segue into lesson three, is be the needed, not the needy. Right? If people feel like you're needy, if they sense that commission breath, then it's just going to make your job way harder. It's going to turn them off. And probably you're going to get the same result that happened to this Sunrun rep, unfortunately. They're going to be like, you know what? Let's just pause the whole thing. We're not ready to do this. We want to think about it longer. And they won't do it. Right? So if you want to learn more about that specific, be the needed, not the needy, not one of the top books I recommend to all my newer closers and anyone that is in our coaching group is Pitch Anything by Warren Claff. He also has another book came out more recently called Flip the Script. I think Pitch Anything is better. But it's all about controlling the frame, right? And that same concept, being the needed, not the needy. Because again, when they can sense that commission breath, when they can sense that you're just doing everything, you're showing up at their house unannounced, you're texting them at all hours, long paragraphs. It's like, who wants that, right? So make sure you learn that lesson. So those are the main lessons, the main takeaways that I got from listening to this. It just, kind of hurt me and made me empathize with the Sunrun rep, because again, I have been there before. But hopefully you can avoid some of those mistakes and not have to be needy like that. And really, the way I got this deal is I just tried to be the opposite of what the Sunrun rep did. Okay, I didn't push them. I should have asked their experience beforehand. I would have definitely presented to them a little bit differently. But once I heard this, I'm like, okay, well, if I'm going to get this deal, I can't be like that guy. I can't shove this down their throats. And I did come back the next day and they signed. Okay, which I will admit, this rarely happens. Usually, if you come back the next day, they're not signing. But in this case, I knew, hey, this is probably my best shot. I got to be different from this guy. They're wanting to crunch their own numbers. So let them do that and I'll come back. I came back. Sure enough, they signed up. And less than 2 weeks later, that thing is glass on the roof, installed, and they're super happy. Didn't have to come back. It was a smooth process. Gave them one update, got their install scheduled, and it is installed. So if you want to have an experience like that, come to sunny Southern California. Have, in many cases, 2 to 3 week installs that we're having right now. Hit me up. We have some openings on our team. You can shoot me a DM on Instagram or shoot me an email, taylor@solarpreneurs.com. I'll send you the application if you're looking to join a team that's on fire right now. But either way, I hope you took something from this episode, and especially send this to, if you're running a team, send this to your newer closers. Send this, if you're the rep that signed this with Sunrun, I am sorry, but hey, lesson learned. Okay. So let's all be better. Let's all be professionals in this industry, and let's get all our docs, let's get all our stipulations in the first time, so we don't have to be like this guy. Okay, so tune into the next episode. We got some exciting guests coming up soon, and hopefully you were able to listen to Jordan Stupar on the last podcast. I thought that was absolute fire, just on following up better and how to be a top 1% sales rep. So make sure you listen to that if you did not already. And other than that, we will see you on the next one. Crush some deals this week. See you next time.